Tonight on SportsCenter, Sunday at the Masters, filled with drama as usual. But by the end of the day, Augusta has a new usual. Rory slipping on the green jacket again. We're all over the back-to-back, which makes sense because this show is kind of all about throwbacks, like what we saw on the ice in D.C. Speaking of looking at the rear view, the NBA regular season is in the books. It's playoff time. We'll hit you with what's next. So get in your steps and think outside the box, because you simply can't get caught napping. This show is a 90-minute hang. Time to bust out the whooping stick. We're SportsCenter next. Well, hello there. Who says you can't go home again? 23 years after the last time I was fortunate to say this from ESPN headquarters in Bristol, Connecticut. Welcome to SportsCenter. I am Rich Eisen. Rory McIlroy defending his title, trying to get a second consecutive green jacket after not getting one for over a decade and a half, and a par putt on the par 4 and the par 3 fourth hole. Nope. And coming back, oh boy. Double bogey for Rory. Drops out of the lead. Who would enter the fray? His good buddy Justin Rose. Justin Rose from the Pine Straw. Par 4 seventh. The man who finished second to Rory in last year's playoff hits an absolute beauty. Within a foot of the pin, Rose would birdie. The man who finished second 3 times at Augusta would take the lead in the back 9, but different 9, different story. Oh my. He duffs that one on 12. Back-to-back bogeys, 3 bogeys on the back, and he'd finish tied for third at 10 under. Back to Rory. It's on Amen Corner, tee box of 12. Clears Rays Creek and then some. The patrons love it. Within 7 feet, he'd birdie to go 2 up. Next hole, 11-foot birdie putt for Rory. He must be butter, because he's on a roll. 3 shots up, Scotty Scheffler. Can he make a run? He birdies 15. His tee shot on 16 is perfection. Funnel that thing down, Scotty, within 10 feet. Scotty Scheffler grabs that putter, goes for a walk, looking for the birdie to make it 2 shots back. He got it. Now on 17, looking for 3 straight birdies, Scotty Scheffler. Oh, you're kidding me. He finishes with a 68, 11 under. Rory now. He loves Firethorn. His approach on 15, staring it down. Oh, it just gets over the creek. Rory putting the heartburn in Firethorn. Spoke to the ball, stay there. It listened to him because he's got a jacket looking for another. He cooks his tee shot on 16. But then he rolls this one from off the green to darn near in the cup. A tap in to maintain his 2-shot lead. And he would have that lead going to the final hole. All he's got to do is bogey 18, and he gets his second consecutive green. Oh, no. Off to the right. He's going for a long walk, spoiled amongst the pine straw. Shaking his head. Finds his ball. Starts directing traffic. Can you please move? I need to go that way. Everybody knows this look if you're a duffer. But Rory's not that. What a swing, what a shot. Gets it into the front bunker on 18. All he's got to do is get it out of the sand and 2-putt, and he's got his second consecutive green jacket. Here's step 1. All right. All right. Needs that for a 2-putt, and he's got his second consecutive green jacket. Rory. All right. All he needs is this tap in. I think you get the point. Rory is beginning to let it sink in. Rory McIlroy, back-to-back Masters champion. Hugs it out with his caddy and his daughter. And his parents. Hugs all around. As Rory becomes the fourth player to win back-to-back Masters titles and the first since Tiger did it in 01-02. Rory's 16 years before winning his first Masters is indeed the longest drought for any of these back-to-backers to win their first. Let's get to my good buddy, dear friend here. Thrilled to have on the SportsCenter screen right now on this 90-minute Masters Sunday. Scott Van Pelt, good to see you, sir. How are you?
I have to do this.
Yes, sir.
Let me be among the first to say, welcome home.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. It's been quite a day hanging out here, and seeing a familiar face like you is awesome. And I'll just give you the floor on where you think Rory now ranks. Where do you think?
I think that's the harder question to answer than the fact that we got the answer to the question of what last year did, right? It frees him up in a way that allows him to play this Sunday, not chasing, but completely comfortable with and secure in the knowledge that if I mess this up, I get to come back next year. And that freedom, along with a cushion of 2 shots on 18, shows itself. And it changed the entire tenor of the day. I think people were almost rooting for someone else just for a different story. Not that they're not happy that Rory won. It's just, no, we did that last year. Like, it'd be cool if Justin Rose won or if Cameron Young won. But in Rory winning, what it does is it stamps him in another category, if you will. I mean, 6 equals Sir Nick. And you start putting him on graphics with black and white pictures of Harry Vardon, whose name is on a trophy that's given to the guy that has the lowest stroke average. So, I mean, Rory already was a forever golfer. Andy North tells me, one of the greatest that we've ever had. And now I feel like sky's the limit. I don't know, that's cliche. I just think he's completely freed up. And as I said on the broadcast the other day, it's like the line from the Joker and Batman. You have nothing to threaten me with. And that freedom showed itself. Yeah,
playing with house money or butler cabin money right now, and just seeing how it all worked out for him after losing the lead early on in the front 9 and gaining it back, and then basically maintaining and pushing a little bit of the pedal to the metal. You got to sit here and wonder if a dam is broken. Scott?
Perhaps, and I mean, you know what he did to a degree was it felt like some Tiger wins of the past where once he had a lead and once Scotty missed on 17, and he missed just fractionally, which is its own sub-story, right? He entered the weekend 12 back and he ends up losing by just 1. But he was able, Rory was, not to coast, but we were waiting for these explosions and those roars on the second 9, and they were largely absent. Most of the drama happened in the middle. But again, now having won back-to-back, last year he made it 6 who have won the career slam, and now he joins Jack, Sir Nick, Tiger, and now Rory. It's a foursome of men who have won back-to-back. That's got to be the greatest flex of all time when you go into the butler cabin with Jim and Chairman Fred Ridley, and there's no one there to put the jacket on because it's mine already, man. I can't fathom what that must feel like.
It must have felt amazing and good for him. All right, brother. Thanks for the time. Go back to D.C. Get your cell phone back, I guess, right?
That's it.
I'd hang with you all night. I'd hang with you all night in this 90-minute
You got
edition.
stuff to do, people to see. You got to make the rounds. Go see Joe at the Calf. It's still $5, by the way.
I can't believe there is a calf, but that's for another day. Great to see you, pal.
Always.
Joining us now after calling Nugget Spurs right here on ESPN is somebody who walked in the building 2 years before I walked out of it. Back here now on SportsCenter together. Tim Legler, good to see you, Tim. How are you, brother?
Rich, great to be on with you again. Good talking to you, and I'm really happy as anybody you're going to find that we finally have postseason matchups, and the playoffs are right around the corner. A lot of injuries this year in the regular season, but the playoffs are going to be phenomenal.
Well, let's start with a couple of injuries to the Lakers that could affect how long they are in the playoffs. We know that the Lakers are taking on the Rockets in the first round, Tim, and the Lakers handled the Rockets very well the last time they faced them in a week, twice. But that was back in March when Luka was the Western Conference Player of the Month and the Lakers with Austin Reeves were going off. Now neither guy are in. Give me the scenario in which LeBron and the rest of the Lakers can get through the Rockets without those other two.
Man, it's such an uphill climb now without Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. You know, a duo that combined for just under 60 points this year between the two of them. LeBron James really taking on that third role offensively, certainly capable of being a great player on any given night. But to ask anybody at 41 years old to now really put an offense on your shoulders going into a playoff series where teams can really focus in on you game by game and figure out ways to try to exploit a team's weaknesses. Without that additional offensive firepower, this is going to be a very difficult task for the Lakers against the Houston Rockets. And it's a shame because they had finally hit their stride and they actually were starting to get into the conversation of what team could upset the apple cart out there that we haven't talked about. You know, Oklahoma City, San Antonio are contenders. Denver as well is in that mix. The Lakers were the one other team you looked at because of how hot they were and unfortunately just decimated with those two injuries. So it'll be a very interesting series, but it's an awful lot to ask of LeBron James to be out there as the lone offensive star for this team.
Nonetheless, they're going to ask him to do that. Now, as for the play-in tournament, 8 teams, 2 conferences. Give me the play-in tournament team that is best equipped to play out and make a nice deep run into the playoffs, Tim.
I think one in each conference I would look at. I'd look at Charlotte, and they're going to have to win 2 games, but they've been some story here for a few months, and they're doing it on both ends of the floor. Incredibly fun. They're entertaining. They're high-powered offensively. They're young. That's a team that's going to be very interesting to see how they perform in the play-in. And then out west, I'm looking at the Clippers, the way that they turned their season around after starting 6-21. And you've got a Kawhi Leonard on that team. You've got a ton of playoff experience. Now, they're going to play the Golden State Warriors in that first game with Steph Curry now just coming back to the action. So that's a fascinating play-in game to get Kawhi Leonard and Steph Curry. But if I look at a team that potentially, could make a run out of the play-in by winning 2 games, the Clippers look like a team that potentially could do that. But look, Phoenix and Portland are both good teams too, and so one of those 2 teams is going to get to 7. Whoever wins that Clippers-Golden State game is going to have to go on the road against either Phoenix or Portland. That won't be easy, but I look at that veteran leadership. I look at a guy like Kawhi Leonard, the year he had. That, to me, would be a team I'd look at and say, hey, maybe they're capable of pulling it off.
Yeah, especially for a team that when they traded away Harden and Zubac, everybody thought they were already looking to future years. Now, this could be a year for them to get out of the play-in tournament and make some noise potentially. Tim, great to see you, man.
Always, Rich. Talk to you soon.
Every year we do this exchange program with our sister city in Bristol, England. It's a lot of fun.
Hey, aren't you the guys from Bristol?
Come on, guys!
Man, I gotta be honest, I don't remember that SportsCenter commercial until just now. We're having a lot of fun tonight. Hopefully you are as well. Let's move things now back to the NBA. Western Conference action on Sunday. Blazers and Kings. A win for Portland would clinch the 8th seed in the West for the Blazers. Second quarter, Blazers up 7. Denny Avdia to the rim and the lay-in. Later in the quarter, Scoot Henderson does some scooting and a dunk. Scooting and dunking. Basically what I'm saying. Minute later, Toumani Camara with a slam. Blazers up 16. You're getting the drift here. Henderson, spot shadowing, driving, hooping, harming. Blazers up 13 after the made free throw. Shaedon Sharpe finds Avdia for 3. He had 25. Blazers locked into the 8th seed. They're going to face the Suns in the play-in tournament. Clippers, Kawhi sitting down, all hoodied up. Steph Curry and the Warriors into it. Kristaps Porzingis to Curry. Nice bucket. Warriors down at the half by 4. Early third quarter, Curry forcing the turnover. And on the other end, It's a good idea to feed him for 3 when he's so open. Again, I'm no hoops expert, but that's a good idea. Early in the fourth quarter, good ball movement. Bogdanovich. Also, after the John Collins jam right there, here's Bogdanovich for 3. Clippers extend their lead to 8. Benedict Mathurin, a nice midseason pickup for the Clippers, who have played really well after trading away Harden and Zubac. They are taking on the Warriors. Here's Kerr afterwards.
You know, we have a lot of respect for each other, and we'd much rather be playing in a best-of-7 series. But it is what it is. So play in. We gotta see what we can do.
And so what can they do is play a deciding game. In the history of the series, we see last time it happened, Game 7 of the first round, the Clippers got the best of the Warriors, but that was 12 years ago, 12 years before the Wednesday night 10 Eastern play-in game that you can see, and the 9-10 from Into It. The Bucks were the first team that missed the cut, finishing 11th in the East, and Doc Rivers will not be returning to Milwaukee, sources telling Shams Charania. Bucks didn't make it out of that first round under Rivers. Attention now shifts to the future of Giannis in Milwaukee. And Giannis, quote, "That's a very good question. I don't know. It's not up to me. We'll see on the future with the Bucks. I feel like sometimes people just don't listen. They listen to sources. The main source is me. It is what it is. So again, don't disturb on my phone. Go about my day, improve, and come back better. So if everything goes well, hopefully the Bucks want me here. Why not? But if they don't, okay."
Hi, hello, and welcome to SportsCenter along with Larry Beal. Who am I and what am I doing here? I'm Rich Eisen. I'm making my national TV debut, and I'm a lot of fun at parties.
Yes, just keep him away from the lampshades and he'll be fine.
Who is that person? Those are the first words I ever said on this show over 30 years ago, last month, many moons and follicles ago, when a 10-year-old kid in Russia named Alex Ovechkin, had he somehow had ESPN, might have said, "Who is that guy and what is he saying? I don't even speak English." At any rate, Ovechkin has since made his way to America, America's capital, and hockey immortality, and all those met today, along with another all-time great in Sidney Crosby, for what could very well be the final home game in the 21-year career of the DC GOAT. And there is Ovi with Sidney Crosby. And we pick things up with the opening face-off when Dylan Strome appears to get himself kicked out of the face-off just so he could send Ovechkin in. Get in there, Ovi. It's you versus Crosby. You can hear the fans are excited about that. Fans get what they want, although Crosby wins the face-off. Let's go to this game early in the first when Alex Ovechkin still throwing the weight around. 21 years into his career and throwing the Ovi into Chris Letang. 4 minutes left in the third. Caps up 1-0. Ryan Leonard to Connor McMichael, 5-hole. Ovi loving it as the Caps go up 2-0. Under 3 minutes to go in regulation. Ovi finds a streaking McMichael, who does the rest on an open net. 3-0 Caps. Ovi's son celebrates. So does the rest of the Ovechkin family. The Penguins want to give him a farewell handshake, but he's like, "I haven't announced anything yet, guys. Just get off the ice. Let me be the first star of the game for the folks at home and for the folks in D.C." Caps win 3-0 in what could be the final home game for him. And joining us now is the greatest goal scorer in the history of the sport, fresh off of that win in Washington, D.C., Alex Ovechkin here on SportsCenter. How you doing, Alex?
Very good, thank you.
What's going through your mind right now?
We're still in the battle, still fighting for playoff spots, so it's a good thing.
Well, but I'm sure you know the rest of the hockey world is looking over the final games of the season for you and wondering about your future. And I'm wondering if you would mind letting fans and all of us know what your decision-making process is on this front right now, Alex.
Yeah. I just said it before. We're going to make a decision in the summer. Right now, I concentrate on last games. Tomorrow we fly to Columbus, and it's going to be the biggest game of the year. So I don't think about the future right now. Like how I said, I concentrate to help my team make the playoffs.
That said, your teammate Dylan Strome, it sure looked like he purposely got thrown out of the opening faceoff to start the game so you could take it against Sidney Crosby. Did you know that was going to happen?
No, I was kind of surprised. I was battled with Malkin, and referee said, okay, go get a face-off. So I tried to win, but it's hard to do it against Sid.
Well, this was your 100th game, including the playoffs, being on the same ice as an opponent of Crosby. What, if you wouldn't mind us asking, that you're willing to share of your conversation you had with Sidney after today's game, Alex?
We just exchange sticks, jerseys, and we just wish you best of luck in the playoffs. And obviously his dad was here. We take a picture, and over those years we have a really good relationship, and it's a great history. It's a great moment, and the fans and you guys love those kind of things.
So if this is your last home game in front of the Washington Capitals fans, what is your message to them, Alex? What is it?
I don't know if it's going to be my last. It was my last game or not, but how I said today, thank you for support, for love, and especially tonight, because that energy, what they give us right away, we take it and we play unbelievable tonight.
And if you could go back in time and talk to the Alex Ovechkin who played Game 1 in the NHL, what message would you give him today?
Enjoy the moment.
Well, it looks like you enjoyed the moment today. I send my best to you and your family, and I hope you get to play some more games. And if not, maybe you come on SportsCenter, you talk about your career.
All right. Thank you very much, guys.
You bet. All right, that chime means we must be 10 days away from the real NFL draft, or you're missing your fantasy draft. I think it's what we're looking forward to seeing in Pittsburgh that we're referring to right now. And it's now time to take this new NFL Network ESPN merger for a spin right here on SportsCenter. My longtime buddy from the NFL Network draft coverage, as always, and including in 10 days, Daniel Jeremiah. Look at us on SportsCenter. DJ, look at us.
How about this? Rich Eisen back in Bristol doing SportsCenter, and we're going to talk a little draft here as it's right around the corner, Rich. I mean, does it get any better than this? Come on.
I agree. Where would we rather be than right here, right now, as the NFL phrase would go? Let's do something that you don't normally do, I guess, in honor of our new friendly relationship between ESPN and NFL Network. You don't normally do your last mock of any sort until the night before the draft on NFL Network, but we're going to change that right now, are we not?
Yeah, we're going to break the rules a little bit here. Normally, it's just the build up to that big final one the night before the draft. But with you in Bristol hosting SportsCenter, yes. I think it feels right that we break that rule and bust out a top 10 tonight,
okay,
Rich.
The first 10 picks as you see it, 10 days away from the draft. But again, this is just a mock draft, everybody. This is not the real thing. Fernando Mendoza is one, though, right? We're not going off the board anywhere else.
Yeah, not trying to break any news here. And when Kirk Cousins is talking about how much he's looking forward to working with him, I'm believing to think that that might be the direction they're going.
All right, so then the first mystery of what the Jets are going to do at number 2, what do you think?
I think it comes down to Arvell Reese or David Bailey. I'm going to go with David Bailey, the edge rusher out of Texas Tech. This is a Jets pass rush that was so poor. And I know they did some things in free agency, but they didn't bring in anybody the caliber of David Bailey, who's a proven pass rusher and I think could provide some instant impact for them there at pick number 2.
All right, so then that leaves Arvell Reese on the board. Where do you think he winds up going then, if not 2?
He's not going to have to wait long. I'm going to have Arizona with the next pick going with Francis Maui-Noa, the big tackle out of Miami. They get him, they plug him on the right side. Now they've got a pair of good, young, athletic tackles. And then right after that's where I have Arvell Reese going to the Tennessee Titans. So, you know, Robert Saleh, he likes guys that are explosive. He likes length. There's a lot of upside there with Arvell Reese. He goes 4 to the Tennessee Titans.
All right, so now that leaves the Giants on the clock at 5. We all know that they've got Cam Scatterbo coming back from injury. Jeremiah Love is sitting there, but so are 2 other Ohio State defenders that are sitting out there, including an Ohio State offensive juggernaut in Carnell Tate. What do the Giants do here at 5?
I've got him going with Sonny Styles, off-the-ball linebacker from Ohio State, for a couple reasons. Number one, he's that good of a player. He's my number 3 overall talent in this draft. And when you look at this division, you've got Jaden Daniels back healthy again. Having somebody with that skill set to be able to run him down sideline to sideline and be able to use your length against a lot of athletic quarterbacks in that division, I just love the fit.
All right, so that's the first 5. What do the Cleveland Browns do at 6?
To me, I think you have to go with the tackle here, knowing there's going to be some other receivers later on down the board. So I'm going to go Spencer Fano, the big tackle out of Utah.
All right, Daniel Jeremiah now in your mock draft at 7. Jeremiah Love is sitting out there. The Washington Commanders are sitting there at 7. Commanders fans are dreaming of seeing that Notre Dame Dynamo standing next to Jaden Daniels in every single offensive set. But you have the first surprising trade of the draft happening right here in the mock draft. The floor is yours.
Yeah, this is about an opportunity here for the New York Jets to move up, to be aggressive in this draft. They are loaded with picks in this year and next year. And when you look at the cost for them to go from 16 to 7, you're talking about their second round pick, a 4th round pick, and their 16th overall pick. So it's not that big of an ask. And a Washington team that needs some more picks. They're a little light. They don't have a 2nd round pick. So they slide back. The Jets come back up. They've already got David Bailey, and now they add Carnell Tate to team up with a fellow Ohio State Buckeye and Garrett Wilson. They have the ability, they have the capacity to be aggressive in this draft and come away with 2 of the top players. And they're another team that's looking specifically at that wide receiver spot.
Oh, well, that would be something to say the least on draft night. 8 through 10 to finish it up. Who do you have?
Jordan Tyson, the only knock on him is the durability, but the Saints pair him up with Tyler Shuck, who they took last year, had some durability concerns. That worked out well for him. Then at 9, I know everybody thinks Kenneth Walker. That would take the Chiefs out of the running back business. I'm going to put Jeremiah Love there. He's just too good of a player. You can use him in a bunch of different ways. That would be a fun toy for Eric Bieniemy and Andy Reid. And then finally, Cincinnati with the 10th pick. They don't need to send a plane. They can send a car. Just go get Caleb Downs from Ohio State and put him right in the middle of this defense, a defense that needs a lot of work, and Caleb Downs would really help.
Daniel Jeremiah, again, so psyched to have you here on SportsCenter tonight, and I can't wait to hang with you and the rest of the NFL Network crew for another NFL draft in Pittsburgh.
It's almost here, buddy. Can't wait.
Coming back to do SportsCenter after 23 years, part of me thought I'd feel like a fish out of water.
I'm gonna need to see some photo ID. Really?
It's been smooth sailing since I got here. Huh. This is where I left it. It feels like I never left.
Rich, we're ready for you in the studio. Studio is the other way, Rich.
Oh man, hopefully you've enjoyed being put in a time machine over the last hour and a half tonight. And if you're having that blast with the SportsCenter past, I got a new show for you. It's a new video podcast series that I'm hosting and producing for a debut this summer. Join me for chats with my old friends and colleagues from back in the day when you watched this program all day, all night, and maybe all the next morning too. The new show is called This Was SportsCenter. Here's a sneak peek. Welcome to the latest edition of This Was SportsCenter. Mike Greenberg, good to see you, Mike. My friend Chris Fowler. The Swami himself, Chris Berman.
Those TVs behind you over there?
Yeah.
I think we were on those. I was, at least.
When I found out ESPN was interested, I thought, SportsCenter?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
What do you mean?
Scholastic Sports America was what they had in mind.
You'd look at box scores, and they'd make a few nicknames, and we just laugh. I was always kind of a nickname guy.
Emmett Smith was the first athlete I ever profiled.
Come on.
Episode 1, Interview 1, Emmett Smith.
J. Ferris Bueller had a home run. He wasn't having a day off for Seattle.
And the waiter says, "Oh, I'm a big fan of ESPN. I'm thrilled to have you here." And at the end of the night, the guy brings the check and he says, "I just want to say, Mr. Levy, it's been an honor having you here."
Listen, you're having this show. We almost have to go back in time.
Fun stuff, so please check it out starting this summer. I guess, as Chris Berman once called me, I should sign off this way. Thanks for watching SportsCenter. I'm Rich Betty Davis Eisen, or Rich Kaleidoscope Eisen. Either way, it's been awesome hanging out here in Bristol, Connecticut. Look forward to being back here. But for the moment, thanks for watching SportsCenter. I am Rich Eisen.